Hold. All right. Welcome and thank you for tuning Neptune Knives. So today I thought I'd talk about 4 essentials that I like to pack in any emergency kit on hand that I think are very multifunctional and perhaps a lot of people don't know about. And 2 of these right here you can find in nature and reproduce if you're into bushcraft. And the fourth one that's not pictured here is actually penicillin. You can try to culture penicillin, but it's a little difficult process, and I'm not going to go into that. But regardless, the 4 items would be honey, never dull, or anything that has a petroleum distillate, such as, well, petroleum jelly. The dip thing is, though, petroleum jelly itself requires something to ignite. So you require wood with it or something, tinder with it, so you have to mix it with cotton balls. Neverdol kind of combines that because Neverdol is basically pure petroleum with cotton. And they're flammable. And then activated charcoal. Okay, so we'll start with Neverdol. Okay, now Neverdol is interesting for me. Okay, if water is scarce, and even if you're cooking, if you ever actually cook with your titanium cookware, it's, you know, anytime you cook, you know, you build that burnt, you know, all stuff gets burnt and it's hard to clean off your cookware. You can use Neverdol. On top of that, Neverdol also can clean off rust on your blade. It also produces a little coat, you know, to prevent how you say, like rust. It also can be used as tinder. It doesn't oxidize. So, for example, if you consider packing like Zippos or butane lighters, the fluid evaporates. It's just a pain in the butt. Stuff like Neverdol, petroleum distillates, they don't oxidize. So basically, you can let them expose. If they get wet, they don't dissolve in water either. So if this got wet, you can then let it dry and it'll still work as tinder. And you know, it's used. They were used different things like in World War II. They used a red version, a veterinary version of red petroleum that was used for like a sunblock, sunscreen. You could, you know, cosmetics use it. Vaseline used to make petroleum jelly, but they stopped now. But like you could use it as to create a layer over your skin. So if you had like a burn or chapped lips or something, you're losing moisture on your skin, you could rub it over your skin because it creates that greasy feeling. And then you can see, you know, for example, you know, a little bit can go a long way. You know, you can pack a lot of this stuff, and a little bit can clean off your knife, clean off everything, and it's just very multifunctional. So it's a really great alternative, you know, if you're looking for tinder that also has multiple functions, because that's the idea. We're talking waterproof, we're talking tinder, cleaning agents, possibly to help your chapped lips, you know, skin, any kind of skin dryness, and on top of that also, you know, like I said, cleaning the rust off your knives and cookware. It's great. Now let's go to activated charcoal. Okay, now I talked about activated charcoal before. Now charcoal, what it does is it doesn't absorb stuff clings into it, like clings onto it. So it's ADSORBTION. So you can Google it. And such these things, you Google petroleum, Google activated charcoal, and the things that it can do are amazing. So first of all, okay, activated charcoal. If you watch the other video, it is from wood, coconut, olive pits, normal wood. You can use, you know, you burn it basically at a high temperature, or you figure out how to lower that burning temperature by giving it an acidic thing, like acid or base. You know, like for example, milk or a banana or salt. You know, it's acidic. Lemon juice is acidic. You add an acid or base to the wood, and then when you cook it or heat up the wood, it turns into burnt wood, and that is activated charcoal. So if you needed it, now first thing, what's amazing about activated charcoal is it has a lot of uses in terms of, for example, it eliminates 29 of the 30 most deadliest poisons. If you get bit by a snake, you can put it on your skin, put a compress, you know, eat it two spoons worth or half a cup worth, and you'll be good to go. It's considered an antidote. Ambulances, EMTs, they're required to carry activated charcoal. Let's see. And it's like used in so many different things. You can use it to filter water, basically removing all chemicals from water. It also, medical professionals using it on cancer patients to remove the toxic byproducts of their, the treatment. It lowers cholesterol and blood fats, and it actually, activated charcoal is becoming very popular now, and it's hard to find in stores because of the Japanese people are turning it into like a dietary part of their everyday diet, because it binds with the blood fats and the cholesterol. It helps arthritis because it's binding with the minerals in your bloodstream. And for example, you can use it to treat diarrhea. It's just an amazing thing. The activated charcoal can do so much. It will make your stomach hurt a little bit, and it can make your poop black, of course. So don't be overly concerned about that. But the thing which is really interesting about this is that, see, here's the amazing thing. So for example, charcoal, you have water, you have wood, you have fire. Those all three things combine. You boil your water, you get rid of all biological contamination. You use the fire that you boil the water with to create that charcoal, that carbon, and then you can carbon filter your water, essentially removing all chemical and biological contamination from your water. And this is stuff. These are things that have been around since the beginning of time. And I don't know if you guys are religious, but for me that's like proof, that there is God. Because how is it possible that something as simple as those elements, no matter hundreds of years later, now we have chemical contaminated water, we have all these issues, yet those three elements can undo them all. So charcoal is a very important thing to carry. I mean, basically, if you ingest a poison, if you overdose on anything, if you get poison on you, get bit, get stung, your water is poison. It removes poison. So charcoal, now only we know is charcoal can over time, if it's exposed to air, start to pick up things from the air. One of the tricks they were saying then is you can heat it and it'll evaporate whatever vapors it caught from the air, but the idea is you want to keep it airtight. So these pills usually come in little gel caps that are sealed. But regardless, you could always naturally make it on your own again by doing what I was saying earlier. Now the next thing is honey. Now, honey, obviously comes from beehives, you want to maybe one day something, Google it or something on how to get honey from a beehive. But the point is, honey has a lot of uses too, and it's very interesting. One, of course, it's energy. You could eat it. So if you pack it, not only is it food, it also, when mixed with water or blood, becomes hydrogen peroxide. Crazy, right? So if you put it on a wound, it basically is an antiseptic. It removes acne, and also on top of that, if you had watched the oil emulsion patches, when you have a wound and you put a dressing over it, you can't put directly over it. You have to put something in between the dressing and your wound, because your blood will clot and that scab will stick to the dressing, and if you don't put something in between, it'll just pull that wound off, and the next thing you know, you'll be bleeding again. So what you do is you have to put some kind of dressing. Now they do oil emulsion patches. You can buy medical stuff, nothing fancy to talk about it. But the other option is honey. Honey actually does the exact same effect. It's viscous enough to where if you apply it over a wound and then apply the wound over it, it serves as a form of sort of like a pre-dressing, so that if you take off the dressing, it won't tear your wound open again. So that's, again, honey is quite amazing too, and it never expires. So I mean, if you're talking like, the petroleum distillates on Neverdol never go down. The petroleum distillates never evaporate. Charcoal also, so long as it's airtight, never goes away either. These three things never expire. I mean, they are there as long as you need them. We're talking now, medical use, different types of uses here too, somewhat medical too, cosmetic companies use it for skin uses, we're talking poison uses, water uses. These three things here, this helps produce fire. It's great combination. And I always put a little bit of Neverdol in a little capsule, little survival capsules, charcoal caps. You try to pack them in your kit in some kind of waterproof container or watertight container. And honey's, honey. Now, the next final thing is the fourth thing, which I wish I could show, but it's hard to get. And it's legal to buy if you're like in Canada or in China, Europe, but not in the United States, because you gotta have a prescription because they gotta make money off of you. But what it is penicillin. There's only two ways to get sick, and it's either a virus or an infection, which means some kind of bacteria, something that's living and growing in you. Bronchitis, if you get a sore throat, and then honey Honey also helps if you have a sore throat. You know, mixed with some kind of lavender flower tea. You know, make tea basically. Drink a little bit of honey. If you can find citrus juice, orange juice, or oranges, lemon, and mix it with honey, you basically can get rid of a sore throat and prevent yourself from getting bronchitis and leading to pneumonia, and then you'll die without penicillin. So you need penicillin. Penicillin, a long time ago, people don't know, but penicillin is the ultimate one cure-all for all bacterial infections. There's a point to where you can build resistance to it, and that's what sucks if you keep getting infected. But the idea is, no matter what you get, no matter what it is, if it's bacterial, penicillin is the cure. So just packing penicillin, if you can get a whole penicillin, you know, hop the border, go to Mexico, get some penicillin. Penicillin is, and penicillin can be procured. You could grow it, I guess, off of cheese and bread, but it's kind of you want a specific color, the fungus. It's difficult. You know, you can look it up, I guess, if you really are that interested, or just try to find it and buy it. Make some connections. But the point is, penicillin will solve all that, and it's something if you do get infected in any way, you know, antibiotic. It's an antibiotic, anything biological that's growing. If you do get some kind of weird cut, blood poisoning, some kind of weird things like that, it's penicillin is the way to go. The only other way you get sick is a virus, and viruses, there's no cure for a virus. There's no cure for the common cold or the flu. A virus is, you know, germs. It's you just gotta let pass. You gotta deal with it the old-fashioned ways of perhaps building up by heat and trying to burn it and kill it by heat. Whatever else you can come, you know, fluids, you know, try. But regardless, those four, penicillin, never dull, charcoal, activated charcoal, or you know, any way you can get charcoal, and honey are four of the most, I think, awesome essential things to pack if you're into any kind of survival, outdoor, bushcraft, and we're talking, these are some great items to have with you. With multiple uses, and it's just amazing. And I hope this video was educational, and until next time, thank you for tuning in. Do you have minutes how dangerous this shit is? Recording it. You getting this?
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous, the awful.
You look like Jackie Chan.
This is dangerous. This is really dangerous. Okay.